All right, Mr. Ahmed here. This is a 11.2 supplemental video here, and this really involves finding the surface area of prisms and cylinders. A couple key things here. A prism is a solid, so we're talking 3 dimensions at this point now. So this is kind of our first look at a 3-dimensional figure. And it has 2 identical ends and flat sides. So all of the faces are rectangles or triangles or some sort of a polygon. It could be a trapezoid even. And the base are these 2 identical ends. So the 2 identical ends are the bases. That's how we actually identify it. And they are opposite one another, and they are also parallel. So they'd never intersect. Now, in a rectangular prism here, like our first one, the top and the bottom could be considered a base because the top and the bottom are identical. They're congruent. They're parallel. The front and the back could also be considered the base in a rectangular prism because the front rectangle is the same size as the back one. And the same thing could apply for the left side or the right side. Now, to find the surface area, we're finding the sum of the area of all of its faces. So I'm going to keep this one pretty basic. For me to find the surface area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to redraw all 6 faces and find all of those areas for this prism. So I'm going to redraw the bottom rectangle first. The bottom one is 2 by 4, and the top one is also 2 by 4. So this one's the bottom. Top. Now we'll do the left side. So the left side is 4 by 6. And the same thing with the right side. It's also another rectangle, and I'm not getting very carried away with drawing my rectangles here. It's also 6 by 4. So I got the bottom, I got the top, I got the left, and I got the right. Now I still have the front and the back. The front dimensions are 2 by 6. Since this piece is 6, these are identical. This one's also 6, also 6. And the back is also 2 by 6. So I have to find the area of all these rectangles. And once I find the area of all the rectangles, I'll add them all together. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8, 24, 24, 12, and 12. So the surface area, add up all the areas, and we'd have it. So surface area, I'm going to abbreviate that SA, is equal to, I got to add them up, 8 plus 8 plus 24, 24, 12, and 12. 88 inches squared. So it's the area of every single face. Okay, next one. We have a triangular prism. The reason why this one's a triangular prism is because the only set of faces that are opposite of one another and congruent are the 2 triangles. Now, that's also the base. So the base is the front and the back. It is not necessarily the rectangle that it's sitting on. Okay, because that one's not parallel and congruent to anything. So I'm going to draw the triangle in front. The triangle in front is 6. I only need to know the base, and I need to know its height. I'm going to write that outside of it. The height is 4. And then I also have the back triangle, which is also 6 by 4. Keep in mind, to find the area of a triangle, I have to take the base times the height times a half. 1/2 times the base times the height. I'm going to do that in my head. Half of 6 is 3, times 4 is 12. You could also take base times height divided by 2. 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2, still get 12. So the 2 areas of the front triangle and the back triangle are both 12 centimeters squared. Now, I have the rectangle on the bottom. I'm going to actually... bottom. The dimensions of the rectangle on the bottom are 6 by 10. So 6 by 10, area is 60. And now let's see here. The left side is 10 by 5, and the right side is also 10 by 5. So I have 2 more rectangles for the left. 10 by well, let's put the 10 here and the 5 here. And the right is also 10 by 5. 10 times 5 is 50, and 50. Add up all the areas. 50 plus 50 is 100, 160, 172, 184 centimeters squared. So add up all the areas of the faces. The next thing we're going to talk about is a cylinder. A cylinder has circular bases, so we have a circle on the top, circle on the bottom, and then it also has a lateral area which wraps around it. Now, the way the formula for the surface area of a cylinder is derived is we have two congruent circles. So 2 times pi r squared is the area of the two bases. Okay? We have a base on top, a base on the bottom. Those circles are the same size, so there's 2 of them. We also have the lateral area. Now the key here, if I were to unwrap this cylinder, the lateral area makes a rectangle. And the dimensions of this rectangle is based off the circumference of the circle. So 2 pi r, the circumference of the circle, is the length, and the height is just whatever the height of the cylinder is, top to bottom. Okay? So this is the lateral area. 2 pi r times the height, that's the rectangle. The bases are the 2 circles. Okay? So find the surface area of a cylinder. Pretty straightforward. Just need to plug it into the formula. Surface area equals 2 pi. The radius is 4 times the height, 3, plus 2 pi times the radius, which was 4 squared. I'm going to keep this one in exact form just for fun. So 2 times 4 times 3, 12 times 2 is 24 pi, plus 2 times pi times 4 squared. Make sure you follow the order of operations here. You have to do 4 squared first. So 4 squared is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32 pi. These are like terms. They both have a pi. 24 plus 32 is 56 pi. And that would be in centimeters squared. So that's the exact area. If you would like, you could also get the approximation by timesing 56 by pi. And that is approximately 175.93 centimeters squared. And that's our surface area. All right, one more example here for the surface area of a cylinder. I have a cylinder with a radius of 5 and a height of 15. So remember the formula, surface area equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. Just plug in our values. 2 times pi times the radius, 5, height, 15, plus 2 pi, radius is 5, squared. So, exact form again. 2 times 5 times 15. 2 times 5 times 15 is 150 pi. Plus 2 times 5 squared. Make sure you follow the order of operations. Have to do 5 squared first. 5 squared is 25. Times 2 is 50 pi. Add them together, and we get 200 pi. So the surface area is approximately, let's see here, 200 pi is about 628.32, and we were in centimeters squared. So just a little bit of helpful information to know where surface area is coming from. The cylinder formula is definitely helpful to have memorized. With a prism, we can just redraw all the faces and find the areas to add them together. Have a good rest of the day.